Dexter's Laboratory is one of my all-time favorite cartoons from the 90s. Debuting on Cartoon Network in 1996, the show revolves around an 8-year-old genius scientist named Dexter, who has a secret lab hidden in his bedroom that only he and his older sister Dee Dee know about. The show was very successful when it came out, running for 4 seasons of 78 episodes. The show remains pretty popular and relevant to this day, and I'll never forget the time I spent watching reruns of the show on both Cartoon Network and Boomerang. And while the show is easily available to watch on HBO Max, there are 2 segments that are no longer in circulation. One segment is from the short-lived Dial M for Monkey sub-series, while the other one is quite infamous for its use of language, as well as the fact that it was lost for 15 years. And that segment was called Rude Removal. And while we don't know which episode would have included this particular segment, we do know that it was made for the show's 2nd season, which aired from 1997 to 1998. Rude Removal was planned to air at some point, but it never did. According to the series creator, Genndy Tartakovsky, he said that standards didn't like it, and thus it was banned from airing, despite the swearing already being censored. Linda Semensky, who was vice president of original programming for Cartoon Network at the time, thought that the segment was funny, and would later admit that it would have been better if it aired late at night. Ultimately, Rude Removal never aired on TV, but it was shown a few times at animation festivals and conventions, such as the 1998 World Animation Celebration. Throughout the years, fans have been asking Cartoon Network and Genndy to release Rude Removal to the public. In a Reddit AMA, Genndy was asked about the segment, in which he responded, "Next time I do a public appearance, I'll bring it with me." This is where Cartoon Network's nighttime block, Adult Swim, stepped into the scene. Adult Swim first aired a bumper saying that they will try to get their hands on the segment so they could air it on TV. They later asked fans on Twitter if they were still interested in the segment, and while Adult Swim didn't air the segment on TV, they would eventually release it online. On January 22nd, 2013, after 15 years from hiding from the general public, Adult Swim finally uploaded Rude Removal on both the official YouTube channel as well as the Adult Swim website. The original uploads have since been removed, but re-uploads are still online today. However, ever since Rude Removal was officially released, there have been some discussions on whether or not an uncensored version of the segment exists. All of those uncensored versions that you see online are 100% fan-made and have always been ever since the original censored version was uploaded. On Twitter, Craig McCracken, who storyboarded the segment, confirmed that the segment was recorded with actual swear words, which were eventually bleeped. However, he isn't sure if the uncensored audio was ever put into picture. So while the official uncensored version has yet to surface, some fans have made their own uncensored versions by splicing different audio sources to make them sound like profanity. However, because of this, it's pretty difficult for me to tell which YouTube upload is the real censored one or which one is the fake uncensored one. Because not only do I normally dislike hearing strong language, but for the sake of this video, I'd rather analyze the official version that was originally produced. Besides, while I haven't seen any of those fan-made uncensored versions, I imagine having the actual profanity would have kinda ruined the funniness of the original segment. Thankfully, the real segment can be viewed on Internet Archive, so let's take a look at this infamous episode. We start the segment off with the Rude Removal title card, and... oh my. After the title card, we see Dexter working on some type of machine. What kind of machine? More on that later. His sister Dee Dee shows up, wondering what her brother is up to in his laboratory.
What you doing? Are you making a shrink ray? Or a remote control that can turn you into animals? Or is it just another dumb robot? What is it? Huh?
Shut up, shut up, shut up! So you want to know what my ingenious invention is, do you?
You know it, bro.
It is great! That's what it is!
So Dexter introduces her to the machine that he was working on, the Rude Removal system.
To simplify this, DD minus rude equals Happy Dexter.
Oh, yeah! You're the rude one, brother.
It is you that is rude.
No, you!
No, you! You!
Dexter and Dee Dee start arguing about who's the rudest sibling, in which their fighting not only caused the system to turn on, but they also take their fighting inside the machine.
Rude removal procedure completed.
Bravo, Dexter! Your rude removal system is a smashing success.
Quite. Like I said before, it takes the rudeness of a person, removes it, and then contains it.
The machine itself does actually work, as Dexter and Dee Dee stop fighting. However, this causes the machine to create clones of the two that have their rudeness stored in them. And this is where the controversy starts, as the 2 clones started using censored profanity.
Where the are we?
Beats the out of me!
Why, you're in Dexter's laboratory, silly. I'm Dexter, and this golden-haired angel behind me is my charming sister, Dee Dee.
Charmed.
Ah, dear.
Now, some of you might be wondering why cartoon episodes like Sailor's Mouth and Curses were able to get away with using censored swearing but not rude removal. I think what sets rude removal apart from those two examples would probably be because of the way the dialogue was handled. The way the dialogue was written for the rude versions of Dexter and Dee Dee made it pretty easy to tell what they were saying. In comparison, the Powerpuff Girls episode Curses also features censored profanity, but the dialogue was written in a way where the viewers couldn't easily tell what they were really saying, especially since rude removal uses a traditional beeping sound, while Curses uses various sound effects to censor the words.
Take that, you monster!
Eat my fist.
I'm gonna teach you a lesson! You want another taste of...
Watch both episodes and you can sort of tell a difference. Anyways, back to the story. So now the rude versions of Dexter and Dee Dee go into the kitchen to eat whatever Mom was cooking. Already the rude clones show that they have absolutely no manners, much to the dismay of Mom.
Well, what do you think, Dexter?
I think it tastes like
Hey, where's the candy?
Hey, watch where you're throwing that.
Okay, I will.
Hey, food fight!
Stop this instant! I've had just about enough of you two. Now clean up this mess and go to your rooms forever!
Look, lady, that's cute and all, but let me tell you something. I make my own rules. So why don't you do what all good mothers are supposed to do and clean it up yourself? So long, Toots. Hey, look, it's Dexter and Dum-Dum. Say, Nancy Pants, your mom wants you. Oh, my. Mother, we best see what she wants. So you're off, then. Yeah, we're gonna go up your lab. Well, they're nice enough fellows once you get to know them.
So Mom blames the real Dexter and Dee Dee and make them clean up the kitchen.
Now I'm gonna get a bar of soap to wash out your filthy little mouths, and when I get back, I want to see this place spotless!
Oh, my. Well, Dee Dee, we best get to work. It appears our counterparts are involved in some sort of mischief upstairs. We should come to their aid, wouldn't you say?
Why, yes, but what of the cleaning, dear brother?
I got it! And it's a pip of an idea, too. We'll leave a note.
Dexter and Dee Dee decide to leave a note and go back to the laboratory to stop their rude clones.
Oh, I hope nobody goes into the rude removal system, where they could duplicate themselves even more, and then there could possibly be millions of rude fellows running around. Yeah!
So they trick their rude clones into going back to the machine, and, well, just to make a long story short, the rude clones are no more, and Dexter and Dee Dee are back to their old selves.
Phew, glad that's over, no thanks to you.
Me? I'm not the one who built the stupid thing.
But I built it to remove your rudeness.
I'm not rude, you are.
Overall, rude removal was a pretty entertaining segment, and has the same charm and spirit as the other Dexter episodes. Though as good as the segment was, I can kinda get why Standards didn't want to air it. Honestly, if Dee Dee wasn't flipping the bird in the title card, and that the dialogue was written to where it wasn't so obvious to tell what the rude clones were saying, it probably would have had a better chance of actually airing. Nevertheless, I'm really glad that rude removal was eventually found. I'm surprised that Adult Swim was even able to release it, albeit very briefly. So if you ever want to watch this episode yourself, re-uploads do exist online. All I could say is, rude removal was an interesting watch to say the least. Let me know in the comments if you want me to cover more banned episodes like this in the future, as long as there aren't too many legal troubles. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
For the last time, it is you who is rude, you big...
Now to clean those filthy mouths.
Oh...